Mic check. Ready to go? Ready to go? Green lights, everybody's mic working? Okay. Good evening. Today is Thursday, July 21st, 2022 at 7 p.m. Welcome to the Village of Vernon regular Village Board meeting. We'll start by calling the Village Board meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance and moment of silence. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Roll call and open meeting law compliance check.
President Carl Fortner.
Present.
Trustees Jim Sloney.
Present.
Daniel DeGrave.
Present.
Dylan Newman.
Present.
Lorene Dashik.
Present.
Mr. President, note for record you do have a quorum of your village board. Also note for the record that the agenda was posted inside and outside the village hall to the media, the Village of Vernon's website. You're in full compliance with the open meetings law.
Thank you. Number 4 on the agenda, announcement of closed session, consideration and possible action on a motion to convene into executive session under Wisconsin statutes 19.851C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data on any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, specifically the Village of Vernon Treasurer, and Wisconsin statutes 19.851E, deliberating of negotiating the purchasing of public property, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. More specifically, the contract for consulting services for the Village of Vernon. In closed session will be the Village of Vernon Board of Trustees. The motion will require a roll call vote. No action will be taken in closed session. Next up is public comments. There's no public comments physically here. We are during election season, so I would like to make an announcement for the record that it is a longstanding past practice of Vernon that once ballots are available for absentee or early voting, no campaigning is to be done as part of public comments. So if you could enter that into the record. I read that every election term, and that's to prevent campaigning, and it's been our policy for many, many years. So now we're on to number 6. First item up is the approval of the Citizens Bank Cash Management Services Agreement and authorize village president to sign the same. In your packet, you received it, and then there was a revision. I think there were some corrections at the, added another deputy and changed town chairman to village president, I think. So, otherwise, I think this is their standard agreement with Citizens Bank. So we're looking for a motion to approve and authorize the village president to sign the Citizens Bank Cash Management Services Agreement. I'll make that motion. Any discussion?
Yeah, is this a continuation of an existing agreement we have with them, or is this a new thing?
It's been modified. A while ago, the board had authorized Linda and Sue to do, all they're doing is the ACH, the only thing they can do is the ACH payroll into the bank. That's all this agreement allows them to do, but the agreement has to be modified to allow them to do that.
So the agreement, the guts of the agreement, the 20 pages or whatever it is basically the same, if not the same.
It is,
It is the same from the last one. We're just adding
Just changing the deputy.
the deputies.
to allow them only, the only thing they can do, and they're restricted to how much, and if there's ever a payroll that's over that, I have it set up that they'd have to contact Carl or yourself to allow them, it has to be approved by a voice phone call by one of you.
Then do they charge us by transaction? How many transactions or dollar value?
There's usually when you look at your, like in your ACH transactions, like $3 every payroll for, every little, it's like a nickel you know, and then it's like $17 a month for all the 2 payrolls that we have.
I saw the 17. I just didn't know if that was per transaction or, like you say, per month.
It's a monthly, and then you see those little $3.25 or $3.06, depending on how many people are on payroll. It obviously doesn't fluctuate for a DPW or my staff. It's the fire department that, you know, sometimes there's 60, sometimes there's 47, depending on, you know, what happens in their payroll.
Okay.
Any other discussion, further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, we're all the way to number 7. Village Board correspondence, announcements, and reports. Under Village Board President, get better here, I hope. I put under mine specifically, just a report, no action is needed. The Village of Vernon investment in cash assets. If you would refer to prior package, this was in the May packet. Also, June 16th package, starting at page 97, was a listing of the CDs. And if you noted, July 19th, 20th, and July 19th, we had 3 CDs maturing. And this is from our borrowing money that we borrowed the year before, totaling $505,000 plus the interest. That should be in our general bank account, checking account, as of June 30. Off the statement, I have a 66 basis point, 0.66% yield, which is a higher, interest rates are going up, which is a higher rate than what those CDs were at. We do have bills coming up. We timed those maturities for the road projects, for example. And so at this point, if we'd hire a new treasurer, the first project would be to look at this cash and when we're going to spend it and maturities. But in this particular case, I think this money has already been earmarked for roads and capital improvements. So I would, it's just as a report, it's right where it needs to be in my view at this point, not to say it can't be changed later. Secondly, we did, per our last board meeting, approve RFPs for auditing services. There was very minor changes, and those were sent out the Monday after our last board meeting. They are due August 10th, 2022. Some accounting firms have been emailing questions to the clerk's office. So those are in process. Otherwise, I say, you know, looking at our weather here, stay cool, check on your friends and family, it's warm. And neighbors, stay hydrated. The air show is this weekend, and my public service announcement, Waukesha County Fair. And while you're up there, drop off your second installment of your property taxes at the county, not here. Not at the county fair. And there is a drop box, which is legal for tax payments. And our election is coming up. You can vote in person, Big Bend Elementary, August 9th. Our clerk will give us more details. Or sooner, starting what, July 26th in person here. So with that, we'll do village trustees. We'll go backwards, start with Lorraine.
I just want to express the importance of informing the residents about the voting being at Big Bend School. What measures have we taken to inform the public? If it's on the front page of the website, or, you know, I just want to make sure that the word gets out. I think they would be upset if they go somewhere else and that they can't vote. So for anyone who's listening, voting will be at Big Bend Elementary School.
That's twice now. And
For
it's on the
both
news-
elections, for
both
August
elections.
and November.
And also, it's in the newsletter. So it'll be on the website.
And I've ordered 4 very large signs. It's in the newsletter in 3 spots. And breaking news on the newsletter, which nobody reads. But I ordered 4 huge signs that are gonna go up also at strategic places. But one's gotta be here because on election day, they'll be here.
This is where they're going to
So there's be a big sign.
And there'll be a sign at the fire station, just go straight to Big Bend Elementary.
No one goes, we haven't voted
We
at the
haven't
fire
voted there
for
for
2
several
years.
years now.
Yeah,
So
so,
even the once every 4-year voters already know that. Right, that's right.
and on WisVote, it's on the Wisconsin Elections Commission. I mean, any place they go, it's there.
Is that it?
That's all I have.
Trustee Newman?
I don't really have anything to report. Sherry Avenue's coming along nicely.
Trustee DeGrave?
I think some of the residents have given some feedback that it's a little hard figuring out how to find the assessments for their properties on the website. I guess I was kind of looking for something right on the front page. It just seems like there's some confusion on that. So if there's any opportunity, maybe tonight, to just maybe inform the public, I think that would be great. Otherwise, I have nothing else.
Okay, Trustee Slawny?
Just two quick things. One, we had the hunter safety course last week. That went exceptionally well, even though I missed the last 2 days of class. But my biggest concern was about half of the people that signed up for the class never showed up. You know, we do a lot of planning and a lot of extra work. And it really took us by surprise, and that was kind of disappointing. Then the second thing was, I was hoping John would be here, because, but Karen, you may know about this one. Jan Tankercracks, I'm going to mess her name up, and I probably didn't spell it right anyhow.
Is that Vernon Hills
What?
Drive?
Excuse me?
On Vernon Hills Drive?
Well, she said it was on the corner of Myers Drive and Oakdale, Pheasant Run subdivision, that there are some overly large culverts that are supposed to be replaced with smaller ones.
That's like county
But I understand it because Oakdale, I think Oakdale is the county one.
road.
But she's been messing with, rescind that, she's called Jason numerous times, as well as John, and gets the runaround that people are pointing fingers. I don't know that we have anything to say about it either way, but there should be a way to poke somebody to get something done. Now, she said she had tried to call all the other board members, you know, listed on the website, but she wasn't able to get through to anybody. So I just happened to, you know, be home at the time. But I don't know if you can.
I'll do an email first thing in the morning.
Her and I
Exactly
spoke
who-
briefly right after you talked to her on the phone, and she kind of briefed me on what's going on. I drove over there, and yeah, there's two. So on each side of the road, there's two pretty large water retention, they're like concrete cylinders that they put in. Like you said, I don't know that there's anything we can say about it, it
Right.
being a county project. But yeah, if there is a problem, and it seemed like they were pretty wrapped up with it at the point. There was 3 traffic cones left, and not a whole lot of equipment or anything around. But yeah, there should be a system in place where,
My biggest concern was she was obviously very frustrated by it.
Right.
Because it's been going on since October
Of last year.
of last, yes.
Yeah,
That seems to be
They did run into
Acceptable.
bad weather, and between their engineer and their contractors and everybody pulling out, I know they had an issue there, and our engineer has been on top of that and several other developments in Vernon. In fact, I'll forward an email from the engineer that he hasn't done anything there, I don't believe, but I'll talk to the head of the highway department tomorrow and get something in writing for you to
Thank
give
you.
to that lady. Carl, did you want to do the sheriff?
Yeah, let's do, are you done, Trustee Slawny?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Jim.
Let's do the sheriff, if you've got anything. But you don't look like Ward.
I don't get any questions regarding the collision yesterday with the semi, with minor accidents, minor injuries, although it did, cause some delays and traffic concerns, but, the injuries were all pretty minor.
I didn't even know, where was that at, sir?
Where was that?
Oh, God.
On the interstate?
No, it was on the county highways.
Oh,
I forget the actual name, of the road. But, it caused a little bit of concern for people, so it was of an hour, I'd say. So if you didn't hear anything, that's a good thing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Clerk Administrator report.
okay, I'm gonna do this really quick here. Here's our website. What you do is go to departments, and here is the assessor. Oop. Go to the assessor, you go down to the assessor, and the assessment rolls are right here. Unfortunately, it's a 700-page or 694-page document. I mean, I have it downloaded on mine, so when people call in, a lot of people are calling. And this is the first year and I've been here, I was the chairman for years and the clerk since 13. We've always had a book. And the assessor said, hey, there's one. The assessor indicated that they'll provide us with a book at Board of Review. We have a lot of people that aren't, computer literate, so I do have an assessment roll on my desk, and I'm going to give it to the village president, because I've got some issues that I'd like him to be aware of before you go to Board of Review, so that you guys can talk about some of the things. But that's where the assessment roll is, and it's not done alphabetically, it's done by parcel numbers, so that's where you'd find that. And we'd encourage people, I've been running pages when elderly people come in and they don't have a computer. I've been running a couple pages for them. They're welcome to call in. We'll email them the page if they don't have a computer. They're welcome to sit down and, actually read the book here, because like I said, I did print it off. And I've been copying the board on some of the issues that are coming forth with our new assessor, just so that you're aware of some of the problems we're having. And there might, Carl, when we go to Board of Review, you might run into issues where people weren't notified correctly. I think there's one of my staff people, she said if you hit Control F, you can do a search, on this document here. So Control F, and you can actually search, put your name in, and it'll take you right to that.
I was just going to say that, but that only applies to Windows computers,
Oh,
just so you know.
did you hear Dylan? He's our IT guy, all right?
It might work for an Apple computer if you click Command F, but I'm not sure. I don't have a
Yeah.
Mac.
So I just want people to know, because that's what we're dealing with in the clerk's office. And as the president stated, we are having, I'm sorry, Carl, did you want Ward to, Ward, do you have an announcement?
Yeah, Ward, maybe you can,
You have nothing?
it's good, actually.
Well, and as Trustee Dashick indicated, obviously the elections are at Big Bend Elementary, and both the August and November. And the reason is our facility here, the DPW garage is great if you're, working on trucks, but in August, the smell and, no offense, the smell, the mosquito, they're terrible. And to have poll workers sitting there for 16 hours and that's why it's at Big Bend Elementary. We have a lot of poll workers there, and hopefully it's going to work out. August is going to be easy. Your November election is going to be tough, because the setup for the election is not till the day before, after 3:30, after the children are gone, and everything has to be out on election night. So I'm going to ask John to kind of plan, instead of paying people time and a half, having his DPW workers possibly work the afternoon, so you're not paying overtime for DPW workers, because they move the machines for the crews. But the principal's been great. I think it'll be a great facility. The only thing is letting people know that the elections are going to be there for. And we're going to have a stormwater issue, little presentation if people are bored. And we did set up a stormwater meeting for October 24th, Monday, at the Painters Union. They're going to host that stormwater meeting with our village engineer, and I'm going to line up a bunch of consultants with Waukesha County. Carl, you decided probably not to have the attorney at this meeting.
Not at this point.
But what I'm gonna try to do is a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet for you, and I'll run off all the labels before I leave so that, and I have some example letters so that when you finally want to go to subdivisions that have stormwater retention ponds or detention ponds, that'll be all set for you and you have a massive letter. And the parking at that facility is great. And that room is phenomenal. I wish I could hold elections. That place is just absolutely fabulous, humongous. But because there's an affiliation with the union, you can't hold elections there. But we can do stormwater meetings there. And as the president stated, absentee voting starts on Tuesday from 8 to 3:30. If those hours do not work for you, please call me. I meet people on Saturdays, Sundays. The clerk's office is open always. Every clerk in the state of Wisconsin is open at 5 o'clock to the Friday before the election. And I have, I can also, because of the way I did my notice, I can meet people on Saturday and Sunday before that election. But on Monday, there's no voting because we got to get the poll books ready and everything. So if you can't make the clerk's office from 8 to 3:30, please call me and I'll meet you and you'll be able to vote. And you can request an absentee ballot the latest the Thursday before the election, but you'll never get it. So if you really want us to send you, we've got almost 600 absentee ballots out so far. But if you want an absentee ballot, please, email. We have all if you've ever supplied us with your driver's license, we have that on file, and all you have to do is email the clerk's office. And that's all I have, sir.
Thank you. And just to follow up on the property tax assessment roll, I was also having trouble, so I understand the residents. And I eventually found it right on our assessor's website, which is Accurate Assessor, 2 words, but all one word on the website, .com, AccurateAssessor.com, and all the roll books of all their municipalities are there. And you can click on, and Vernon's there, and click on Vernon, and you'll have the whole roll book.
Except mine says that it's still in process. So is some of them not done yet?
Oh, no, that's something, if you did not get a letter, if you did not receive a letter, your assessment should not have changed. But if you see some of the emails that I'm sending to you where it was sent to the wrong person, that's a question, I would assume that the Board of Review, if that happened, they'd give people, you would meet again, give those people time, because if it was mailed to the wrong person and they didn't get any time to do their due diligence, I wouldn't, obviously I'm not speaking for Board of Review, but I've never seen any politician say, well, who cares, you didn't get it in time. So anything that we're aware of, I'm copying you just so that you're aware of what's happening also. And I'm trying to check as many as we can, but we have property owners that have 10, 20 different properties, and there's problems. There's problems there.
There's problems because just to check just now to see if Vernon was up there, I just called it up. Off Accurate Assessor's website, it's there. It says preliminary, but that's because it is until open book, and there might make corrections or changes to get to the final, which is coming up for Board of Review, will be final. But even then, it's preliminary because
Yes.
the Board of Review can make changes.
Yes, if the board makes a change, it doesn't, once you close Board of Review, then it's the final.
Then it becomes final. So don't be concerned about the word preliminary. It's,
Okay.
yeah.
So this tax roll, it comes up in here, the title on this says 2020. It
That's
says
not the
real,
current one, though.
real property assessment roll.
Are you on-
You're looking at our website, right?
Yes.
That's the.
Yeah, that's
So
That's
is
2 year-
it 2020 or is it
2022.
2022.
See,
Even though it says 2020.
Well,
that's a old,
see, I never found it on our website.
if you go to assessor and then like I said, and it does say preliminary because, as you stated, it is preliminary. Because you're gonna see changes You will see, and they should show you every change that they make with a resident that comes in during open book. And we encourage people to come and work with the assessor, because if you don't work with the assessor and you come to Board of Review, the board has to adhere to what the assessor, unless there's a blatant error. But that's why it's so important for people to call and email, get an appointment, and talk with the assessor, because that's when you want to make that change to your assessment roll, if there's something wrong to your property.
Well, and there is a lot of incorrect addresses. I just looked at my subdivision, half the addresses and names are wrong.
Right?
That's
And
how bad it is.
yeah, and if you go on the county site, if you compare I'm talking about this one, this assessment roll here. If you compare what their notes are and what Waukesha County is, and I don't know how that happened,
I don't know either, but that's something for the assessor.
to explain to you, when.
And explain why it happened and how it's going to get fixed.
Right.
I mean,
And the last assessment roll didn't have those errors, just.
no, they did not, and you would think the transfer of data from Market Drive, it would have picked everything up, but
Yeah, and I don't know if that's what it was. Usually in a conversion, you don't have that many errors.
yeah, well, when you have half a street wrong,
Yeah,
I'm just looking at it right now, half of it's wrong.
yeah. That's probably Ward's fault.
That sounds more manual than by computer, because it was a computer problem. The whole street would have been wrong.
Yeah. Maybe he'll.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, well, that's a lengthy report, but yeah, it's coming. Finances, we're on to accounts payable. So we're looking for a motion to approve batch number 2022-07121 in the dollar amount of $56,516.02.
And I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? I'll second it. Discussion. No discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-2. Manual check, this is a manual check that missed our agenda
Great.
last, and this is to Triple R for our business subscription.
And that has been corrected, Mr. President. The tax exempt, trying to work with Microsoft on clarifying it. It will come to the clerk administrator's email in an invoice form with no tax
Right, instead of our computer consultant,
out of his personal credit card.
person accounts, right? Right, and there is zero tax in there. It says it's 5%, but the amount is zero,
Yeah.
as it should.
I just wanted to have them to have all the documentation, so whoever comes afterwards, at least it's filed in their office. And I have confirmation of that.
Right, and the billing address is changed, okay.
Right.
So we're looking for a motion to approve the manual check to
Triple R.
Triple R Computer Solutions in the dollar amount of $5,544. I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. June 2020 ACH transaction report in the amount of $111,068.71. So we're looking for a motion to approve the ACH transactions for June 2022 in the dollar amount of $111,068.71, which consists of mostly payroll and the approved ACH, the ACHs on the resolutions.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-1. One dissent, trustee DeGrave. Village Board minutes, June 28, 2022. I think those were tabled from our last meeting because we wanted to check that one motion made by trustee DeGrave. It looks right to me now. Are you in concurrence?
And
This is June 28th.
Right, on the motion.
Yeah, on the motion.
I'm not sure I got the last version of it.
Oh, okay.
It's in your packet.
Was in the,
Yeah, I
the new
know.
whatever the revised version was in the
Is
e-packet.
is in the e-packet?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Then I think it's,
And you think, okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the Tuesday, June 28th, 2022 Village Board meeting minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we're on to July 7th. I had some changes, suggested changes. They were all made. So I will make a motion to approve as changed the July 7, 2022 Village of Vernon Board meeting minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? July 7th. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is abstain, because I missed most of
Oh,
that.
you missed
meeting.
most of the meeting. Okay, that's right. So, opposed? Motion carries unanimously with one abstention. Trustee Dashik. Okay, now we are on next village meeting dates. July 26th, during our reports, we had some discussion about Board of Review. That meeting date is July 26th, 2022, 6 PM, right here at Village Hall. In order to contest your property tax valuation, you need to give us advance notice and comply with the state statutes. And that deadline is
48 hours.
48 hours, so this would be Tuesday. 48 hours would be
Friday.
Friday, tomorrow, to get your objection form in. And have we received anything?
No, we have not. We have forms ready.
Forms are ready. Tomorrow's the deadline. August 4 and August 18 are, at 7 o'clock, are our regular village board meetings. August 10th, 7 PM is Plan Commission. We are trying to get a special board meeting together, I suppose, with Finance Committee, with our auditor to go through our financial statements. That's July 27th. And also with our fire department officer group regarding, I've got scribbled down compensation and benefits. It's really their monthly stipend. And that will also be on the 27th.
7. Did we decide the time?
We thought 9 o'clock for Howard to do the presentation and then move that meeting to the fire department at 10:15 and do a closed session on that compensation issue. That way, the only reason you're moving is I have early voting. So if we're here for, an hour, and then we move to fire department, at least it won't tie up the village hall all morning.
We also have a staff meeting
End of August.
in August.
In August, right. Oh, yeah, we didn't list, it's still July, but yeah, we usually write that in there. Yeah, that is August 28, well, let me look it up.
August 25th.
25th? Yep. August 25th, 1:30 PM is what I at least tentatively had that down for.
Okay.
And at that staff meeting, it will be in large part stormwater.
You'll have a pre-meeting before your meeting and
Right, before the public meeting. The board needs to be up to date before we go to a public meeting. Okay, so those are the meetings. We may switch to Zoom, so stay tuned. One or more meetings may go to Zoom, given what's happening this summer, seemingly getting worse and worse. So we are on to number 11. Closed session. I will make a motion to go into closed session as I previously read and as printed on the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
The motion will require a roll call vote.
President Carl Fortner.
Yes?
Trustee Jim Solani.
Yes.
Trustee Daniel DeGrave.
Yes.
Trustee Dylan Newman.
Yes.
Trustee Lorene Dashick.
Yes.
Mr. President, note for record that your village board has unanimously voted to go into closed session at 7:34 PM.
Thank you. And just for the benefit of the public, no formal board action is ever taken in closed session, and this will be no exception. And so we will reconvene in open session after we're done, and the items, and take take perhaps action on the items listed on the agenda. So particularly the first one. Okay, we will, that clock is way long. We will take a 5-minute break. We'll convene in closed session at 7:40. Thank you.